Hello and welcome to another Nintendo 64 game review. I've done a few others, and one of them was of course on the infamous Armorines, which I think is the worst video game, but I also did some really good video games, including Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I'm now streaming play of the Japanese version, so check it out. Today we're going to do The Shadows of the Empire, which was just a great game. I think it came out when I was in middle school. Oh, LucasArts, I wish you didn't sell out to Disney. You'll also get to see a really interesting cheat thing that you have to do. I'm not kidding. You actually have to do this. Yeah. Okay, so to start, we're just going to start with an easy account. This thing is a new account, I believe. I know I still have my old childhood account on this because this is the original cartridge. So we're going to go through some full battles, and then we're also just going to explore a few levels. So we're going to do the full Hoth battle, and then we're going to do the full final battle. So that way you get a good idea of what this game is like, because it's really versatile, especially for its time. Okay, so I'm just going to explain a little bit about what you're seeing here. I think we all know the Battle of Hoth, at least I hope all that have come here do. Because, yeah, if you don't, you kind of have no business here. So that thing, the blue thing to the middle right, is actually a radar screen, and it tells me where the enemies are. That red light will start to blink when basically I only have 1 or 2 hit points left before I die. The middle left is basically just an icon that tells you how much health your enemies have, what enemies are in front of you, etc. And here was a short call I had with one of those chicken guys. Damn chicken guys. What's really cool here is they keep the continuity of the snow speeder being slightly hard to maneuver but very fast. A lot of gameplay here, you can see I spend a boatload of time just turning around so I could attack my enemies from behind. And you'll see that red flashing on the radar. That means that guy is shooting at me, just in case I didn't notice. Thanks, LucasArts. Now, Rogue Squadron had something incredibly similar. Basically, all of the Star Wars games in the 90s had something similar to this, or exactly this, where you have to take out the bigger guys with your tow cable. So that's something you'll see. You get a challenge point for it in this game. I don't really know what happens if you get every challenge point, because I never have, but who cares? You'll see me struggling with this, mostly because just controllers weren't that responsive. I mean, this was the mid-90s. And same thing with the programming. It was kind of hit or miss as far as just accuracy of controls. But LucasArts did put a lot of time and effort into this, so I can't really say I blame them for it being a little laggy like that. They had to work with what they got to work with, son. So last first, same as the first basically. Now there's just more enemies here, and they're a little bit more annoying. And another close call too. Also, if you're watching this play and you're like, wow, he's going straight on to those guys and they're not killing him, it's because it's on easy. The medium mode is, of course, less easy, which means that when you take those guys head on, they do more damage. So here, it's easy, which means that I have incentive to just do that. Serial killer! Not Pickanic baskets, Pickanic caskets.
Now tell me, what's my motherfucking name?
Serial killer. Serial killer. Serial killer. Wake up in the morning, eat your Lucky Charm cereal.
Deep like the mines of Minota. Now picture this. Let's picnic inside a morgue. Not picnic baskets, picnic caskets.
I was a bit off. In 1996, I was only 10 years old, so that's when it came out. But I think I bought it when I was like 13 or something like that, when I was in middle school. And I just had a great time with this. It was difficult for me as a kid, but I learned how to lose with this game, and eventually I started beating it, which was a lot of fun. This generation of games really helped me out as a gamer. So now, at the end of this, they show you this data. This data gets saved to what's called the game pack, so there's memory inside the cartridge. And here we are in the first-person shooter mode, so it's kind of fun. It's like, I don't know if this qualifies exactly as multi-genre, but it does in my book, son. And that's what we're gonna call it. So of course, like most FPSs of its time, it has auto-aim. I, unfortunately, let's see, the most modern video game I play is probably in the early 2000s, so I haven't experienced first-person shooters, new ones anyway, for 20 years, so I don't know if you still get auto-aim. I assume you do. But yeah, obviously you could turn it off. Here I'm failing at opening that door because I forgot you can't make a game if you opens. So, at least in the beginning, they're generous. There are good health points around, and when there are big enemies, there's health around them. So that was generous and nice. Thank you, LucasArts. Whoa, I think my neck broke in that cut. Now we're going to the asteroid thing because I didn't want to show you guys entire levels except for the beginning and the end. As we went over before, please take note there will be a test on this later. So basically here I just aim and shoot at things that don't exist really, maybe some rocks. That's my biggest issue with this particular level, is it just takes a little bit of time, both to start and to finish.
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
Needless to say, missiles are your friend in this level. The guys come in clusters and you can hone in on them and use your missile to get a few of them. Why I didn't do that there, I do not know. As you can see, the challenge point takes the form of these big ol' asteroids. And here, again, because I'm on the easy level, it is easy to hit them. You can even blast your way with them. I don't know if I do that here or not. Oh, no, just doing a missile. And it still missed. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to go into the special one to do a few levels. This is what you have to do. L, R, all C buttons, left on the whatever that is pad, and then you have to do the joystick halfway left, halfway right, halfway left, halfway right, until a screen pops up. And the first time I did it, I kid you not, probably took me like 30 minutes to get that cheat, but it works. So this is pretty much the end of the variety of vehicles and ways that this game has you play. This is a weird motorcycle level, and I guess they just felt, well, we have to do something that is vehicle oriented, that changes more, just have some variety. So here this is on medium because that's how this cheat works. I don't believe I actually have any of the cheats on. In the upper part there you can see a blue line, which is the way that I'm supposed to go, and you can see all those red dots who are the evil people. And right now I'm trying to get this guy to crash, but I'm just crashing myself. It was very frustrating. Keep in mind, I probably haven't played this game for 10 years or something like that. But yeah, it's a good level when you get the hang of it. And they also basically went a little all out on some aspects of this. This was so cool that they had this monster in here, and I made sure to give you guys some footage. Now, I'm sure some are going to ask, Randy, how does a laser work underwater? Answer, I do not know. I am not a physicist. Sorry. So now that you've seen the various possibilities, I'm going to show you the last battle, the final battle. And it's pretty good. The graphics, of course, are kind of meh. Incidentally, I've gotten a new application on my phone that allows me to film this a lot better. So you'll only notice a single scan line. Here you don't notice it at all because it's all so dark, motherfucker. So this is the same asteroid belt thing. It's just there aren't asteroid belts, there are star destroyers and such around. And you're fighting a different enemy other than the Empire. Now, I prefer this view just because it makes the most sense to me. I generally tend to prefer first-person views instead of 3D outside of something because, I don't know, it just disorients me a little bit. And yeah, kind of second verse, same as the first. Same bombs, same fighters. Here, instead of a countdown, it's all a count up. And it's a lot longer, son. But we're gonna play through it, because I promised. The other slight variation of this level from the asteroid is that bombers aren't specific. So there's fighters and bombers, they can do both. So it's not like before when you just knew, oh, those are the bombers. Maybe strategically it makes more sense to go after them at some difficulty level. I don't know. I never really tried this game on hard. And you also have to remember that something like 68 megabytes was storable on these ROM cards, basically, that we called game cartridges, right? So it makes sense that they reused some stuff because it would save memory. They could draw upon some memory they've already created, so they don't have to create a completely new thing. And that's probably also why there are a lot of first-person shooter levels in this. But it's still nice and versatile. The other fun thing is you can go back and forth and play old levels, and it's very enjoyable. I would rate this game probably an 8. And yeah, it kind of goes on like that. Something I forgot to mention, shout out to the music. They really made it feel like the movies, and this was back when MIDI was not so hot, you know. I think it was when Yamaha came out with the Mo 8 that MIDI got so much better. And I don't know if that was in the late 90s or something, but maybe there's an issue with MIDI fidelity because of the size of this stuff that I would not be surprised. I really wish that they had made their cartridges contain more information, because we could have had like actual dialogue in Ocarina of Time or something, you know. Alright, yay, so we got out of that phase of this particular level. So now I have to take out this thing, and you're gonna watch me struggle to figure out how to get the darn cockpit view here. And yeah, it was not easy. I'd also just like to ask, why would you ever play in that cinematic view? It's stupid. I suppose this at least shows off the graphics capabilities of this game and the Nintendo 64, which was pretty good for its time. It actually had more RAM than the PlayStation, which is why these graphics are better, he said during a glitch. Finally, I realized, hey, why don't I look at the damn controls? So I fidgeted around here and, yeah, wound up making it work out. So here you can see me having the trouble maneuvering and just zeroing in on my target, which happens to be these turrets. I'm not really that concerned about them shooting at me because I currently have that cheat on, the Wampa Stompa cheat. Let's stomp at the Wampas, yo! Now there's also a way in this level with the Wampa Stompachee to play as different aircraft. So I believe you can become an X-Wing or one of the Imperial fighters. So I always opted for the Imperial fighter, however I could not remember how to do it, and for the sake of everyone's sanity, I didn't try. And yes, that was a Millennium Falcon hitting me while I was in the Millennium Falcon.
This bridge should be 4 decks above us. What's going on here?
That's not where we came from.
Wait a minute.
2 bridges?
If we go through there, where will we be?
On the bridge.
But we are on the bridge.
That whole 2 bridges thing reminded me of something I'm working on with one of my students. I teach music, and there's a song, "We Will Never Pass This Way Again," by, who did that? I can't remember, but it's a pretty easy song, relatively, but it arguably has 2 bridges. I just named the first bridge something else. Yeah, it was interesting. You can see here that they diverted a little bit from the heads-up display on the snowspeeder, but not too much. It shows you your health status, how many missiles you got, what your nearest enemy is, sort of thing, and you got that whole, what's this word, radar there, which is handy. But at this point, it's not showing you who's shooting at you because you really got to care about those turrets, you know. But I suppose they're all done, and now we're going to go attack the core. And this is reminiscent of the film. You may or may not remember, if you have or haven't seen it, I did the Death Star trench run in my Rogue Squadron review, which is also a really good game. It's arguably better than this in certain ways, graphically, for sure. But this had a certain I don't know what to it. Here you have an easier obstacle variant. I'm just trying to turn around because I'm invincible, so it doesn't matter if I hit the walls, but I wound up just going outside and then back in, son. Yeah. So for those who care about the story, and I cared enough about the story to find out, or want to find out answers. I never beat this on hard, as I mentioned before, but if you beat it on hard, you get the rest of the story. Here I beat it on medium, so I get the middle of the story. When you beat this on easy, Dash is just presumed dead. So here we go. And that's all I got for today, folks. Miscellaneous sign off line.